Hello everyone, thanks for tuning in to today's fourth and final video, doing storm watch for today's fourth and final video. So there's a risk of some heavy rain, torrential rain even, and maybe some thunder as well tomorrow and into tomorrow night and through Saturday morning. We'll have a look at the latest high resolution model output, all just updated, all hot off presses within the last hour or so, and I'll get on that for you in a second. Just to say that the first video released today was our 6 AM UK weather forecast. We've also released the detailed European outlook and a 10 to 14 day, a busy day. GavsWeatherVids today. Please like, share, and subscribe on all today's videos and content. Thank you so much, everybody, for doing that. Thank you so much, Richard, for our lovely Stormwatch gear. Thank you so much, Rich. I love it. I love the gear. Thank you so much, my friend. Right, let's start off then. We're going to begin with the facts chart. The facts charts. These are the different interpretations of models by the forecasters at the UK Met Office. High pressure dominating over Scandinavia today. Low pressure out of the Atlantic have been drawing in this sort of southeasterly wind that's bringing hot air in from off the continent. Now, as we get through to midday tomorrow, we find that the low pressure in the Atlantic starts to send several weather fronts, a succession of weather fronts eastwards into Ireland and the UK. It's a very complex setup. There's also a convergence line there that might kick things off actually through the morning across some parts of England and Wales. See, the way the wind is coming up from a southerly southeasterly direction also. It will be very warm and humid tomorrow, although probably with a lot of cloud, not as warm with the actual temperatures it has been today, but it will feel quite oppressive. That's fact chart for midnight Saturday, Friday to Saturday. So by then, we're beginning to bring a cold front in from the west and from southwest. That might have the heaviest of the precipitation along it. Not sure that will have all that much in way of thunder, because all of these other fronts, got a warm front there and two convergence lines, all of these other features will probably take the sting out of the atmosphere a little bit ahead of this cold front. But along the cold front, that is likely to be where some of the heaviest of the most persistent of the rain occurs. Everything simplifies by the time we get through to midday on Saturday. The cold front swept eastwards. We're bringing cooler, fresher air from off the Atlantic. It's still pretty warm though, and quite a brisk westerly wind as well. The front does hook back into northern parts of Scotland. Just there we'll have further outbreaks of heavy and thundery rain, and this occluded front here wrapped around the centre of the low pressure. That will probably bring some heavy rain, maybe thunder into parts of Northern Ireland through the course of Saturday. By the time we get through to Saturday night and on into Sunday, we're in a straightforward run of west-south-westerly winds, bringing in showers to the north and west, but probably reasonably dry down in the south, given that pressure is starting to rise a little bit down there. Now, the one thing about this isn't great in terms of thunderstorms is the Cape and lifted. Cape is convective potential within the atmosphere, so you see bright colours and you've got convective potential. You don't want too much Cape, like we've got this red down here in the mare. That's actually too much. What you're looking for is like greens, yellows and oranges in my experience. Anyway, we're in the blues here through tomorrow morning. We do see the blue becoming a little bit more paler, so there is a little bit of convective potential there within the atmosphere through tomorrow, but it's not great. These are not great levels of Cape and lifted that we're seeing here, but probably just about enough to allow for some lightning and thunder and some convection within these showers. And generally we just keep in those blues throughout this spell. So at 6 AM Saturday morning we don't really see appreciable levels of Cape and lifted there, but there might just be enough to produce some lightning and thunder. Now let's start having a look at some high resolution models. This is a Rome, so this is a French model, but we can see to Northern Ireland, England and Wales, but unfortunately we can't see to Scotland. So starting off at 8 PM, just about when I'm releasing the video, and there's a few showers in the southwest and most places are looking dry. Now overnight we're going to find scattered showers in the south, and they push northwards through the early hours up to around breakfast time into central southern parts of England. There are some quite bright colours in there, so there might be some rumbles of thunder, a few flashes of lightning maybe within these showers that are pushing northwards from the south across England and Wales through tomorrow morning. I think this is more sort of persistent rain over parts of Northern Ireland. Things generally sort of fizzling out into the afternoon, probably quite cloudy through the morning, and then into the afternoon brightening up before going cloudy again later on as this massive rain begins to come into the west into the southwest. That looks like persistent thundery rain that we have setting up just there. Not much sign of any thunderstorms up to 5 p.m, but I think it will be later on in the evening that if we get storms, they are more likely to occur towards the southeastern corner, maybe. Right, that was a Rome French model. This is another French model. This is arpège. So again, this is for midnight tonight. We've got some heavy showers down here in the southwest. Otherwise, not a huge amount happening. As we go into the early hours, up come these downpours from France. They may be thundery, actually, in the morning across more central southern parts of the country. So there might be some rumbles of thunder, some flashes of lightning in with those. They tend to fade out as they push up towards northern England through the afternoon. So they're really affecting central southern England, the Midlands, and East Anglia, the southeast through the morning. And then they kind of get up towards northern Ireland, northern England. They start to fizzle out. Then we have this mass of very heavy rain, which is heavy, persistent, thundery rain down towards the southwest through Ireland and parts of southwestern England. And beyond that, we start to push that northwards. There's some very bright colours in there. I wouldn't completely rule out chance of thunder, like through Wales there, for example, into the but I think this is more sort of persistent. I think the thunder is likely to be maybe through here, this way, just here through central southern England up towards Midlands, and particularly in this southeastern corner. That area of precipitation there could well be like actual thunderstorms. And we do see some pretty torrential rain there for East Anglia, South East England into the early hours of Saturday. So I reckon that's where the greatest risk of thunder will be, through more central, southern, southeastern parts of the country. Elsewhere, just lots and lots of heavy rain. But it will be interesting to see how this works out, because it's quite a complex scenario. By the time you get through Saturday morning, so it's like breakfast time Saturday, the wet weather is up over Scotland and wrapped around into northern parts of Ireland as well, and then just carrying on, pushing northwards through the course of Saturday, becoming confined to northern parts of Scotland. Most places becoming dry then for the rest of the weekend, just showers into the north and the northwest, and may carry on into the early part of next week. GWV Icon looks like this is the German model. So again, we have got these heavy showers, maybe thunder, coming into the south through the course of tomorrow morning, affecting like central southern England and the Midlands in particular. They kind of fade out into the afternoon, then more wet weather piles in from off the Atlantic. Again, I think most of this stuff around here is likely to be heavy, persistent thundery rain, but these precipitation of the southeast corner, that might have a better chance of containing lightning and thunder. Everything trundles off northwards as we get into Saturday, and it really is Scotland that has the rain for Saturday. Most places becoming dry then, and that carries on into the early part of next week as well. Then we've got UKV, so this is the high-res model from the UK Met Office. This is just updated as we've been speaking. So again, let's see what this is showing. Now, there we see it through tomorrow morning. Now, these do look potentially like thunderstorms here through central southern parts, being up into Wales and into West Midlands, possibly up towards Northern Ireland as well. Some very heavy rain mixed in with some of that. They trundle off up into the Midlands through the morning and then generally ease down into the afternoon. Things become much quieter through the afternoon, just a few scattered showers around. And then we have the massive rain coming in from the Atlantic as we get through into Friday. I think most of this is going to be heavy, persistent rain here through Northern Ireland, Northern England, Midlands, which is Eastern England. But this area down here is where I would be focusing on the risk of thunderstorms. Again, I'm not all that good predicting thunderstorms. This is pure guess on my part, but I reckon this is where we have the greatest risk of storms, like through the southeastern part of the Midlands, and then down into the London area, into the far southeast through Friday evening, and into the night. The storm risk then is into like East Anglia. This stuff up here, I think, is just persistent heavy rain, but there may be rumbles of thunder mixing. I could be wrong about that. So we'll just see how it works out. It's a complex setting. It's not a classic, as I say, it's not a classic thundery scenario, because the capability is a little bit subdued, and it would be much better if the Cape was higher. I think those showers tomorrow morning actually take out a lot of the sting out of the atmosphere before the main event gets going into Friday evening. And then we've got WRF finally with Trombetracella.fr. So we'll have a very quick look at this one. Again, in come those showers tomorrow morning. Now, they're further west with WRF, so they're really affecting Wales, southwestern parts of England. Struggling to make it into the Midlands even. So a little bit different with position of both showers with WRF compared to anything else. And then into tomorrow evening, in comes the mass of heavy rain. Not really showing all that much out in the southeast, is it? So WRF has everything a little bit further westwards compared to all of the other models, I think. Through Friday evening, I think with that, the greatest risk of storms is probably here, who like Wales and southwestern England. But WRF is quite strange. Most of the other models has everything significantly further eastwards compared to WRF. That area of precipitation there just might be storms as well off the East Anglian coast. It all trundles off northwards. And Saturday to Sunday, things start calming down. I'll just very quickly go back to UKV because it's not only thunderstorms with this, looking at torrential rain, risk of flooding. We are also looking at some quite strong winds as well. So let's just quickly look at those before we go. So it's going to be pretty breezy up the western side tomorrow morning, but it's really later on into the evening that the winds really start picking up. And look at this, we have like 70 mile an hour plus winds off the coast of Wales and southwestern England there through the Atlantic Irish Sea coast into the early hours of Saturday. That is very strong wind for the time of year. It's not that strong inland, but even so it's to 50 or 60 miles an hour further inland. So a real battering here of like 50, 60 mile an hour winds from the southwest up through Wales, particularly the coastal regions of Wales and into the Irish Sea, like Isle of Man, and heading up towards Northern Ireland as well. 50, 60 mile an hour plus winds, and in the sea, actually in the Irish Sea itself, those gusts could go to 70 mile an hour plus. Very windy even further eastwards through Saturday with gusts of like 40 mile an hour plus. So that is something else to be aware of, that we're not just talking about a rain and possible thunderstorm event with this. We are also talking about the risk of some very significant winds for the west and for the southwest too. So everything but the kitchen sink going to be thrown at us in the next 24 to 36 hours. So it's going to be an interesting sort of time to come, I think. Right, that's it. So if you found this storm watch interesting and informative, please like, share, subscribe, drop a comment, let us know what you think. And if you want thunder and you get thunder, then enjoy it. But make sure you keep yourself safe in all of that heavy rain, and for the west, those very strong winds as well. That's it for Storm Watch for this evening. So we'll end things there. Thanks so much for tuning in, and we'll see you again with another one very, very soon. Bye for now.